So we're here in Charleston today as an emergency response group. The intent of today is about understanding our needs in an emergency that happens in our community and our ability as a local community group that's set up to be able to respond. By being able to test and having people come into the centre with a pretend scenario, how they've been affected, it's given us an opportunity to test our systems of triage, our ability to look at logistics and volunteer coordination, and what we can do at a local level to help bring back some level of independence to the community so that they're not a burden on the emergency services.
When there's an incident like a fire or a flood, it's really important that community feel empowered and that they know what they're going to be doing. So an example like we've seen here today is an opportunity for people to really understand what their roles could be and how to help each other in the event of an emergency.
The key thing that stood out to me today is that a community who's not recently experienced a devastation in their own corporate memory has gone on to developing a plan and a process and a system right from scratch in a really impressive way that's facilitating their ability to be empowered if the disaster ever happens in this area.
Yeah, so far things have been going well, and yeah, it's nice to know that there's some help close to home if there's ever an emergency.
It's nice to meet new people around the town that are actually really close by, so it's really good, yeah.
So there's people from farmers to people with administrative skills to people with medical type backgrounds.
Having somewhere in the hall where people could meet and get together, people know where to go if there is an emergency. It's great that the community can get together at something like this and support each other and be there together for help in the future if needed.
I've lived in the area for 73 years. I bring my knowledge along to the group and we've got a good group that we work with here and we all contribute.
Such a great committee, great people, and it gave me a way to kind of get to know people in my community that I didn't know before.
Working with council has been really good because we've been able to develop a good relationship around getting an idea of what grants are available and just helping us with local initiatives. I think it's been really important. And a partnership with council, with Red Cross and with other agencies certainly makes a big difference to our ability to get our messaging out there.
I've been involved in a couple of disasters in my life as both a victim and an observer. And one of the key things that stood out through some of those things that I've seen is that communities who prepare to and then recover from a disaster together actually recover better in terms of their well-being and their long-term prospects by doing it together and not seeking so much outside help. So it's activities like we've seen today, creating self-reliance that's actually going a long way to reducing the trauma that's experienced by a community after a disaster.
We've learnt a lot from today. There's a lot that we did well, but there's also some gaps that we've identified that we definitely need to fill. And that's what today was about, getting the learnings from it and getting some coaching along the way so that if we ever get a real emergency, that we're ahead of the game.